Well, there's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
You have a new film, which I want to cover in a minute. But there's a few things that are actually happening right now that are time sensitive.
Yes.
That I want to cover. The first of which is Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went on a whole online rant. He said, I hate N-words. He said, I'm anti-black. Bring George Floyd back to life and kill that N-word again. And the consequence of all this was he was actually expelled by the WBC, which is the umbrella organization that allows him to fight professionally. Number one, when you saw like these rants online, what did you think?
I wasn't shocked for some reason because he'd already made little weird racist comments about another boxer's father. And so they were already making these little weird racist comments before. So I wasn't shocked. And also he was in a room, he had some other people that are known for anti-black racism in the room with him when he was doing that live. So I really wasn't shocked by what he was saying because a lot of these guys, man, in order to ingratiate themselves with certain audiences, a lot of the boxing audiences, a lot of them harbor a lot of anti-black racism because it's all about rooting against the black guy, just like with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather got that money, all the money that he has and all the success that he has because people were rooting against him. They wanted to see him get beat so badly by a non-black person. I've been to a few Floyd Mayweather fights. I remember when he fought Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor, yeah.
Up in Vegas, everybody's running around with Irish flags. I had an American flag with me. I was the only person with an American flag. People will turn on the country in order to turn on a black person. All of those fights are all about somebody, either white, semi-white, or just not black, beating a black person. So they've always looked for some kind of great white hope. Ryan Garcia is the next great white hope, and he understands the racial dynamics in all of this. So he's pandering to that racist audience that he knows is there. So the boxing audience, they've always had that racial dynamic thing there that a lot of people don't like to talk about. The Rocky movies. The Rocky movies was based on a lie. Muhammad Ali fought this guy, I can't think of his name, I'm having a brain fart, but the movie Rocky is based on a real fight with Muhammad Ali and this white guy.
Well, no, isn't it based on this white fighter?
Right, it's a white fighter. Right, it's a white fighter.
He didn't fight Muhammad Ali.
He did fight, yeah. He fought Muhammad Ali. Sylvester Stallone, God, I can't think of the name. But this was like 1974, 75, where Sylvester Stallone saw this guy fight Ali. And what happened, the guy tripped Ali up. He put his foot on Ali's foot. And
Chuck Wepner.
Chuck Wepner, there it is, Chuck Wepner. Chuck Wepner tripped Ali. But it looked like he knocked Ali down.
You're right. He fought Muhammad Ali on March 24th, 1975.
Right.
You're right. Okay,
yeah. Ali got up and beat the brakes off of him. But just the fact that he perceived to have knocked Ali down, they looked at that as a win. Hey, we knocked the big black champion down. He wrote the Rocky movie based on that. And the Rocky movie is a gazillion-dollar franchise to this day. So that racial dynamic in sports and in boxing in particular, that's always been there. Going back to the days of Jack Johnson, that's always been there. So I'm not shocked because of Ryan Garcia.
Okay. Well, after he got expelled by the WBC, he made some statements. He said, I take all responsibility for my words. I'm misunderstood. I just got a lot of trauma. And it's been a tough couple of months, as everyone can tell, but I am sorry. I struggle with substance abuse. It was hard for me with everything going on. I actually love black people, no cap, which is why I'm actually sad I offended all my black family and friends. This sucks, but all I can do is better and stop using stupid words and letting some people in my circle hype me up. Sorry, everyone that I offended. I still stand on stopping black on black crime. In the hood, everyone has said the N-word.
So that just nullified the whole apology at the very end. All of that I'm sorry stuff, and then here, what about black on black crime? And everybody says the N-word. So that means I'm not really sorry.
Right.
So yeah, that was an insult within the apology. That whole black on black crime thing whenever they do that, that's something said to justify harming and punishing black people. They don't really care about black on black crime. There's no such thing as black on black crime. There's just crime. We don't uniquely commit more crime or less crime than any other people. And also he's Hispanic culture. If we want to talk about crime, there's drug cartels all in his culture. We're going to go there. But again, that anti-black rhetoric is something that a lot of these guys use in order to ingratiate themselves to that audience out there.
Well, yeah, he said, in response to the WBC expulsion, he said, so many other people have said racist remarks and you never expelled them. He said, I'm expelled from boxing as I should be for my comments. I don't get to box again. I lost a lot of sponsorships. Trust me, what I said is not going good for me, but I deserve it. And then he announced he's going to rehab.
Well, they always say they're going to go to rehab. There's no such thing as racism rehab. You know? Drugs don't make you racist, man. It's already
Drugs don't make you
right.
racist.
It ain't Khalil Muhammad. It ain't the crack. It's the cracker. You just had a cracker inside of you that you wanted to come out. That's what it is. It ain't the crack.
Bill Haney was a guest on my show recently. Me and him still talk.
Okay.
And remember, they actually had to change the record from that last fight that he had with Devin Haney because of, remember, they found performance-enhancing drugs in his system. So they actually had to change the record from a win to I think a no contest, and it was taken off everyone's records. And I asked Bill, I said, and the thing is, Ryan and his son had been boxing together since they were kids. They were not boxing together, but they would all be in the same tournaments. Yeah. They would all end up in the finals together since they were 15. And I said, you know this guy. Do you think that, he was having, substance abuse problems, or was he really just doing it on purpose? He's like, no, he was doing it on purpose. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, of course.
And he knows him. And he stands on that. Well, Oscar De La Hoya spoke about it. He said, there's no room for hate or intolerance at my company, period. I condemn Ryan's words in the strongest possible terms. I see that he has apologized, and that is a start, but it is only a start to earn back the trust and respect of those who have and continue to support him. We hope Ryan will use this time he has away from the sport to work through the issues he has publicly discussed. We stand ready to help in whatever we can.
Yeah, they're going to try to put the cape on for this guy because Ryan, he's a potential big moneymaker. Again, yeah, he's a potential moneymaker, and they don't want his flub-ups to mess up that money. So they're going to try to spin it and try to work it around because, again, he's the new great white hope. Or he's close enough to whiteness. So they're going to do a lot of caping and splaining for the guy. And it's going to be very interesting. I think he will make more money because now, if he gets back into the boxing arena, we want to see him get his ass whooped. So we want to see a black fighter. I want to tune in to see that. So I think it's going to make more money for him.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, look at all the free promo that this has brought. I mean, it's an immense amount of time. And I think he's expelled, so I don't know if they're going to let him back in. I mean, they may.
They might.
Well, they had suspended him for a year because of the PEDs.
Right.
But now this is now more serious.
Right.
Now he could go into another sport though.
Yeah.
He could go into UFC. He could go into bare knuckle fights and
he has a name. He has a name, so he can flip it and work in different ways.
He's definitely a draw, whether we like it or not. People know who he is. And yeah, people want to see him fight a black fighter.
Right, but now here's another thing. Now, will people catch this guy slipping now? Because now he's now known as an anti-black racist. He kind of has this mindset, if you got a problem, come see me. Now, with that mindset, somebody is going to come see him. Unfortunately.
He is a professional fighter, though.
So,
it's not going to be a cakewalk.
Right,
You're not just going
But you better understand, there's some cats out there hey, man, I got some skills too, and hey, I had to put it on Ryan when I saw him over at the strip club or whatever, so I don't want him opening up that door because he's been kind of challenging people just in general, if you don't like me, come see me, that type of thing. So that's a dangerous game to play because somebody might say, hey, I ain't got nothing to lose, I go see him.
Well, especially if you're a lot bigger than him.
Yeah.
And you actually know how to fight professionally. If you're a heavyweight, he doesn't stand him,
but
that big of a chance.
Street fighting is different. Street fighting is different. In the boxing ring, there's kind of rules. You can't do this, you can't do that. The streets is a whole different thing. So
bite, gouge eyes.
Yeah. Somebody get them legs. So you don't. I've seen professional boxers, get their hands put on them in the streets.
Well, you know, Wiz Khalifa, there's a video of them kind of hanging out a little bit.
Yeah.
And now Wiz is sort of getting it over this.
Yeah, people they're questioning Wiz Khalifa's lineage now. They're saying that he might have some South American lineage.
South American lineage.
He might not be full FBA. He might not be a full foundational Black American hanging with that dude. Because, yeah, that's a bad look for Wiz.
Well, Mayweather was asked about it.
Yeah, he deflected.
Yeah, he said, no, you're not going to get me involved in that. That's not my thing. Something negative. I don't want to have nothing to do with that.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame Floyd because any sound clip they can get from Floyd, they're going to blow it up. It's going to be a headline. Floyd Mayweather said that Ryan is a disgusting racist. So that's why I ain't got nothing to say because all they're going to do is spin it anyway. So I'm not mad at Floyd.
Well, yeah. And I mean, according to Devin, he felt that Floyd and Ryan were like working together. Like in this last fight, like he felt that they came up with this plan for Ryan to be a little bit heavier in order to win the fight. And he feels they're somehow plotting. Now, I don't know if you caught it, but Bill and Floyd got into this whole online, like, yelling match with each other. Well, mostly Bill was yelling. Right. Floyd actually was fairly calm in the whole situation, but, you know, Bill called him all types of bitches and whatever else. And, you know.
I was wondering what that whole thing was about. Like,
well, I guess at one point, Floyd wanted to sign Devin, and they walked away from the deal.
Oh, okay.
It just wasn't enough or whatever else. And I think might have been some bad blood over it not working out. But Floyd is still Floyd, man. Floyd really is, you could say, is the greatest boxer of all time.
Yes, he is.
You know, I mean, some people say Muhammad Ali, but Muhammad Ali doesn't have Floyd's, you know,
Floyd
record.
Didn't take a loss. Yeah, Floyd didn't take no loss.
15-0.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ali, unfortunately, kept boxing when he just should not have.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you watch some of those like later interviews, like he was already going through like the Parkinson's and stuff like that.
Right.
He wasn't as sharp and quick as he was, and he was still getting in the ring and getting punched in the head. That was worsening his condition.
Yes, it was.
So, unfortunately, that happened. Whereas Floyd is like perfectly lucid and, you know,
yeah. When Ali was fighting, they didn't have the type of endorsements like they do now. Yeah. So, you know, he had to get out there in order to make the money, unfortunately.
He didn't have to. He just, you know what I mean? Like, he could have managed his money differently and stopped earlier if he wanted to. I think he just loved to fight. I think he wanted really to keep going.
You don't think it was money motivating? Because he was working with Don King, because he was working with Don King at one point, and I don't know how those deals were going.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think the money might have been a little bit janky at that time. And you didn't know, like, Floyd Mayweather has endorsement deals left and right, you know.
Actually, he doesn't even do endorsements, actually.
Floyd?
No, Floyd doesn't really do endorsements.
I always see Floyd advertising this random stuff.
No. He's even talked about it, how he doesn't have sponsorships. Think about it, he could have had his own sneaker, he could have whatever. Yeah. No, like, really, he's just been very smart business-wise. He owns tons of buildings and properties and, you know, all types of other stuff. Like,
all right.
Think about it, his fights, he's cleaned up.
Yeah.
You know, he's won every fight, so he's taken the biggest purse. He's promoted his own fights. Like, Floyd is really like the blueprint of athletes for the future.
Yeah, he got with Al Heyman, which was a phenomenal promoter who keeps a very low profile, and Al Heyman's been around for a long time, and I've heard that Al has given him great advice and guided him in a spectacular way.
Yeah.